Hi, everybody. And welcome once again. So it's been over some time, say some days, since I left the chat because I traveled and I haven't been able to. I didn't go with my laptop. It was a series of moving from one point to the other, so I couldn't have traded or just look at the chat. So I left my laptop at home. And this week I am back and I have been in the chat, but this is going to be my first video, although today is Thursday. This is going to be my first video since I returned. But I've actually been trading this week. I've actually taken some trades, only about 2 trades on EU. I will try to explain my thought process and what actually happened so far. So, reference to my previous video, which was here on Tuesday the previous week, I said that I was bearish and I was going to only change my bias after I see a close above this level and then subsequently above this level. So I was looking for, if you look at the last video, I was expecting this fair value gap here to hold this 1.7 as um, a liquidity sweep based off of this, and then expecting price to react and then moving towards the sell side. But the price didn't do as we were expecting on the H1, so I stayed out. That was Wednesday, and then I traveled on Thursday. So I've been out of the market since Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through to Monday of this week. So quickly, beginning of this week, we had seen a very strong close above all of the areas that I identified. Strong close above this first indication. And then on Thursday, Friday last week, we finally closed above this fair value gap. So it means that coming into this week, I was expecting price to reclaim this area and then continue for these targets that I marked out here. Now we saw a very sharp rejection on Monday as market open, traded all the way to this fair value gap here that was created, and then came back to close above the midpoint of the reclaimed one. Right, this is the reclaimed one. Price disrespected it here and here, and now we came back all the way to tap this bullish gap that had been created and then closed above the mean threshold of that same gap, inversion gap, right? So when we had this, I was bullish ahead of the week. In fact, on Sunday, this was what the plan was going to be. Open Monday, dip, reject, and then continue for this, and then subsequently this high, right? So on Tuesday, after we saw the rejection here, on Tuesday, we saw a continuation, and then subsequently there's been a rejection until today that we saw expansion, right? So this little price action move here is basically consolidation because the price was actually capped and only for today left to be moved for the upper side of the market, right? So let's just switch to the H1 and let's see what happened, right? So here's how. So this is Friday market closing higher, and this is the reclaim block, right? So the market opens on Sunday, dipped back into it all the way into this. Remember, this is the fair value gap on the daily time frame that we're looking at. We dipped into it, and then we see change of state in delivery here, right? CSID, and then subsequently closing above this fair value gap, right? So this fair value gap was used to take out these lows into the daily fair value gap, and then we've seen a close above it here. So from here, I have been bullish dollar, expecting this to be hit. So with the same idea, I flipped to the Euro USD, and this is the trade that I've held since Monday, and then today we nailed the target, right? So with the same idea, we flipped. This is a daily. We flipped. Let me see where this one is coming from. Right. So for Euro USD, we had flipped this fair value gap here on the weekly, right? This is a weekly fair value gap. Price closed very strongly below it, and then see how Monday we came back to reclaim it, and then we've seen this one, that one, and this low taken. So the first target was going to be the previous week's low. That was actually my first target, and then subsequently this, and then that, right? So this is still intact. Let me mark this one out. This is going to be, if there's going to be some further movement, this is going to be my target for the rest of the week, which is tomorrow, Friday, if there's going to be any movement. So let me go to DXY. Now, given the strong close we have on DXY and then leaving this target here, I would expect price to dip back and then continue higher. So something like price opens, dips back in, right? Then continue to the target, right? So on the H4, let me see what we have. I am not going to, I'll take this one off. I don't really, we've taken liquidity here. So let's see if I can use this one as a valid range on the H1. Yes, so on the H1, we have this little range. I'm going to expect price to come back for this low before continuation to the upside if there should be, right? So this is an internal range liquidity for me. Then I would expect price to, on the H1, sweep this hanging fruit here and then continue to the upper side, right? So I would expect the 15 minutes to turn bullish once we take out this swing low and then continuing higher from there. Once I see a bullish signal forming on the M15 after taking out that low, then I would flip the same idea onto the Euro USD and hunt for the final target, right? So this is going to be my plan going into Friday's trading. I'll hold. I don't. Let me check the chart to see. Friday there's no news, and so we are purely going to base our trading activity on price action, right? So I would watch what price does after taking this. If I see any bullish sign on the M15, then I'm going to take the same idea and flip it for to check for shorts on this, right? So I'd expect price to come back for this one. Let me see how it looks like on the H1. Yeah, so I would expect price to come back to take this and then continue higher. We have this fair value gap here that price reacted to, and then we have a little one here, but I'm not really expecting price to come all the way up. Even though price can just come all the way up here, I would want to see what happens on the M15 after price takes out this high here. Perhaps continue to see the target on Friday, right? So quickly, that is going to be my expectation going into Friday. And I hope that this trade this is Monday, right? This is Monday. This is the weekly reclaimed FVG that I was looking for. Monday trades into it, and during during London, and then New York takes it out. As soon as New York took that out, we switched. We had a change of state here, and then close below this gap, this fair value gap. So if you check my entry, this is it. So if you check my entry is on this. As soon as price closed, I went in here, and then I have been holding until that. So on Tuesday, I went in again. I tried to add up. Why did I do that? You could see that price had dropped. It was giving all signs on the higher time frame for bearishness. So as soon as price hits this level once again, let me just take this one off. Meantime, so price came back to hit this level, right? And then we closed below this on here, right? So let me just draw it out here. Closed below this, right? So as soon as New York opened on Tuesday, this is New York open, right? This is Tuesday, New York open. As soon as New York opened, I went in here on this, and then I put my stop loss here. So I'll show you how it looks like. I was still holding the short, but I was adding to it here. So I waited for this one close, and then I did this, right? And then the target was the same. I was going to add to it, but unfortunately, I didn't check the chart. I didn't check the calendar. There was CPI. CPI came in, and then I got hit. I got hit there. So that was it. That was a trade. Flipped, and then as soon as I got hit, price came back. I never bothered myself to trade or add to the position anymore. So I stayed out. I held the one position, right, from Monday, right? So that's it. That's about it. That has been my activity for this week so far. I hope this video has been very helpful. If it is, kindly hit the like button, possibly share with your friends, and I will see you in the next video.